Let me explain intercepts. Consider the first diagram. So here, this is the straight line. So point here x comma 0 and here y comma 0 comma y. So these 2 points are called x and y intercept respectively. So that means the point this graph cross the x-axis is the x-intercept. The point graph cross the y-axis is the y-intercept. And if you go to the second diagram, here also how many intercepts we have? We have one here and second one here, third one, fourth one. 4 intercepts. But only 3 x-intercept, this one, and this one. So this is what? This is the y-intercept. And the last graph. You see here, yes, the graph crossed the x-axis, therefore it is x-intercept. But here, it doesn't cross the x-axis, but touch the x-axis. So even this touch the x-axis, this also intercept. So think about this graph. Yes, this touch y-axis at this point. So this is a y-intercept. And this one x-intercept. And this one also y-intercept. Now, tell me, how do we find the x and y-intercept when we have an equation? Before we go to the equation, go back to the x-intercept here. So you see x-intercept, the coordinate of the x-intercept is x comma 0. And if you go to here, this point, so let me use another color green. So if you go to this point, here also x-intercept, the coordinate should be this x value. And what is the y coordinate? It is 0. If you come to this point, y coordinate is 0. And here y coordinate is 0. Now you should have an idea. What is that? For the x-intercept, y coordinate always is 0. And similarly, when you go to the y-intercept, x coordinates must be 0. Now let me explain some examples. First, y equal x plus 7. Y equal x plus 7. How do we find the x and y intercepts of this equation? First, let me find the y-intercept. Now you know at the y-intercept x equals 0. Therefore, you can plug the x equals 0. Then equation become y equal 0 plus 7. That means y equal 7. Therefore, we can say y-intercept is x equals 0, 0, comma 7. Similarly, x-intercept. How do we find the x-intercept? You know y equals 0 at the x-intercept. So just use the y equals 0 and x plus 7. Then solve for x equal negative 7. So x-intercept equal negative 7 comma 0. So y and x intercepts are 0, 7 and -7, 0 respectively. Okay, let me explain another example. Say y to power 2 equal x plus 16. Y to power 2 equal x plus 16. Here we have y to power 2, second power of the y. But our method doesn't change. The same way we do first y-intercept. How do we find the y-intercept? We know we use x equals 0. Therefore, y to power 2 equal 0 plus 16. It means y to power 2 equal 16. Okay, then how do we find the y? Y to power 2 equals 16. Therefore, to find the y, we need the square root of 16. What is the value of square root of 16? So, y equal, it is 4, but not just positive 4, it should be positive or negative. It means positive or negative, plus or minus 4. So it means we do have two y-intercepts. Therefore, we can say y-intercepts are first one x equals 0 and I will write down -4, and x equals 0 and positive 4. These are the two intercepts of y. So then how do we find the x-intercept? Same thing what we did before. So we plug as y equals 0 equal x plus 16. So solve for x equal -16. Therefore, x-intercept is, first write down the x value -16 and y value 0. So that is the x-intercept. For this graph, we have three intercepts, two y-intercepts and one x-intercept. Right, now next example, y equal root 3x. So how do we find the x and y intercept? So this one same, you can write down in this x equal power 1/3, the same meaning. How do we find the y-intercept? Same method what we followed before, just use the x equals 0. So I will do this x equals 0 and root 3. So what is the value of this? It is 0. Therefore, y-intercept is, or you can say equal 0, 0. So then how do we find the x-intercept? Right, we use y equals 0 and square root 3 x. So how do we find the x value. So you know this is 0 here. Therefore, x equals 0. Then x intercept is also 0, 0. Then we do have only one intercept. Here 0, 0. Okay. Now I will use another example. X to power 2 plus y minus 9 equal 0. Okay, now we have this equation x squared plus y minus 9 equals 0 and asking to find the x and y intercepts. How do we do this? Yes, if you need, you can write down this y equal negative x squared plus 9. Actually, you don't have to do this. The only thing, how to find the x and y intercept, plug in the 0 for y and x. So let me explain using this equation. So what I do, I find the first y intercept. Okay, how do we find the y intercept? We use the x equals 0. So x equals 0 to power 2 plus y minus 9 equal 0. So solve for y. So y equal positive 9. Therefore, we know y intercept is 0, 9. Now similarly, we can find the x intercept. So we plug y equals 0 now. X to power 2 plus y equals 0 minus 9 equal 0. Therefore, x to power 2 equal 9. So now we solve for x. Now what are the x values? You know, I solved this type of example before. I explained that. So therefore this should be plus or minus 3. Therefore, how many intercepts we have? We have 2 x intercept. What are those? First, negative 3, 0 and positive 3, 0. So for this graph, we do have 3 intercepts. This one 0, 9, which is y intercept, and 2 x intercept, negative 3, 0 and 3, 0. Next example, 9x to power 2 plus 4y to power 2 equal 36. How to find the x and y intercepts for this equation? Let me find the x intercept first. X intercept. So we use y equals 0. So 9x squared. So when you plug the y equals 0, this becomes 0 equal 36. So then 9x to power 2 equal 36. Now we have a 9 over here next to x. So coefficient of x to power 2 is 9. But we are looking for x values. So what should we do now? Yes, we need to get rid of 9 at this side first. So what to do? I will divide up by 9. So you have to divide this side also by 9. So then x to power 2 equal 4. Now we know x to power 2 equal 4, therefore x equal what? X equal plus or minus 2, sorry, plus or minus 2. Therefore, how many x intercepts we have? We have two x intercept, negative 2 comma 0 and positive 2 comma 0. Then how about y intercept? The same, we use x equals 0. Therefore, 9x squared become 0 plus 4y to power 2 equal 36. Now we have 4y to power 2 equal 36 and divided by both side by 4, and y to power 2 equal 9. Therefore, y equal plus or minus 3, 0 comma negative 3 and 0 comma positive 3. For this graph, we do have 4 intercept, negative 2 comma 0, 2 comma 0 and 0 comma negative 3 and 0 comma 3. Next one, y equal 3x over x squared plus 9. First, y intercept. How do we find the y intercept? As usual, we plug x equal 0. So, y equal, here 3x it is 0, divided by x to power 2 equals 0 plus 9. So, 0 divided by 9. So, we have 0 at the top and 9 at the bottom. So, answer is 0. Therefore, 0 comma 0 is the y-intercept. Now go to the x-intercept. X-intercept. How do we find the x-intercept? Y equal 0. Use y equal 0. Then you have 3x divided by x to power 2 plus 9. So how do we solve this equation for x? You know we have numerator and denominator, and this side equals 0. So therefore we can say numerator, which is 3x, should be equal to 0 to satisfy this condition. So 3x equals 0, therefore x equal 0. Therefore x intercept also 0 comma 0. Now we can say we do have only one intercept for this graph, which is 0 comma 0. In my next video, I am going to discuss about test for symmetry. It means test an equation for symmetry with respect to the x-axis, y-axis and the origin. Thank you for watching this video.